I hurt myself today. Oh, wait, wrong song. Wait a minute. Let me play the intro. Sorry, everybody. Let me play the intro. You can have it. Oh, hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. David, how are you doing?
My empire of dirt.
What's up, David?
Yo, how you doing?
Good. Welcome, everybody, to the greatest show on the planet, the most watched YouTube live broadcast in the known universe so far, to our knowledge. Today, we want to introduce ourselves as two extremely masculine guys who want to talk about how to be proper men.
Just treat women like garbage. And what you do is you say, you either agree with me, you're a real man. And if you disagree with me about anything, you're a pathetic little tampon princess.
Yeah. This is actually, you might wonder why I made such a title and why I put such a thumbnail on there. This was all inspired by David sending me a message yesterday and saying, what's the plan? And I said, making plans is for losers. Real men don't make plans. They go with the flow. They need action. I am too smart to make plans.
And they hate books.
and David then responded with title, Ultra Masculine AP and David Wood Life with zero plan because they are not gay. So and I thought that was too good. So yeah, I took at least part of it.
That was dope. I forgot about that. You just mentioned.
So David, what's up?
Yo, so it's very interesting. So it looked like with Tucker Carlson. So it looked like Andrew Tate was being crushed, and then he got that interview with Tucker Carlson, and then you had all these people, a lot of conservatives too, going, "Wow, I didn't really know who Andrew Tate was. I just heard about him, but now he's looking like he is a really great guy. Yeah, he's just defending. He's just trying to stand up for young men when no one else will, and they're coming after him for that." And so it looked like, might be duping a bunch of people here. Plan might have worked out for him. And then, of course, people caught on pretty quickly and started sharing videos saying, guys, don't fall for this and so on. And then almost everyone else seems to have gone in the opposite direction. So Jordan Peterson called him the lowest form of life. Ben Shapiro did an entire video going through how disgusting Tate's lover boy method is. I didn't watch the one by Michael Knowles, but Michael Knowles did something on him. So these are like got some the most prominent conservatives out there all looked into it a little bit and then had something to say. John McRae made an awesome video, so nice and short, but he really goes through it and exposes some of the really dumb things Tate fans keep saying, like, but it's not sex trafficking, they're not in cages and stuff, and stuff we've been covering, but we've been covering it in long live streams. So he made a nice video. And then Abba and Preach made an awesome show exposing Tate. And that was cool because that one, I mean, last time I checked, had like 600,000 or 700,000 views. I'm sure it's more by now. But yeah, looks like everything's turning on Tate. And then you got his fans, and they're still, if you look in the comments of various videos, the Tate fans are still just spouting the same lies that Tate spouted. And it's things that you could literally refute in 30 seconds if you just spent 30 seconds questioning him. So they're still saying, but how could it be sex trafficking if the women weren't kidnapped? They're saying that. And it's like, guys, that's not the only form of sex trafficking, and it's not what he's charged with. Or they say, no women are accusing him. All the women say he's not, that he's on their side. No, they don't. Why don't you actually read some sort of court report? And they're saying, of course, this is all over TikTok video. It doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for them to be saying that he does this over TikTok video. It's like, not what it says. Not what it says at all. That's not what he's accused of. That's not what we're saying he did. That's not what the courts are saying. No, it's not. That is a distortion, because TikTok is mentioned because the girls were told to do TikTok, but it was to funnel people to their OnlyFans. But he completely leaves out the OnlyFans and stuff. And there's a reason he leaves out the OnlyFans, because for years he admitted to what he was doing on OnlyFans. Now he's trying to, but you got to wonder what the end game is here, because I've seen some of the court documents circulating, and they're bringing up these guys' videos. They're bringing them up in court, saying, no, but Tristan says this in this video, and Andrew says this in this video, and it's like, if you guys know you're just flat out lying in order to keep your followers going out and fighting for you, like, I don't know. Don't you realize you have your day in court coming up? You're eventually going to go to court, and they're going to play all this stuff, and they're going to completely wreck it. If you had a slight bit of credibility from any source, I mean, all the stuff you've been doing, lying and manipulating for years, you're just making it worse when you tell a bunch of lies, even about what you're charged with. So, I mean, any judge is going to look at this, is going to look at all this stuff saying, this is what you said you were charged with. This is what you said we had against you. This is what the Matrix, seriously. And they're going to be like, you're the biggest lying scum I've ever seen in my life. And I will believe any woman who comes in here and testifies against you, because I have about 1 million reasons not to trust you. And I have no reason so far not to trust them.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Beautiful speech, wonderful, powerful stuff. Yeah, so no, a lot of that stuff happened last weekend. We made a big live stream where we exposed pretty much where we like documented and proved to everybody that that Andrew Tate did indeed do all those things that he is accused of, that he lied to Tucker Carlson, that he lied on other occasions, like to the BBC and so on. And then some guy who has a channel and a Twitter profile named Milk Bar TV, he watched our live stream, and so did many others who are active and who criticize and analyze Andrew Tate. So it dawned upon him that, and this guy is conservative and really like skeptical of government kind of stuff, and it dawned on him that there is some big problem on the right where Andrew Tate seems to be embraced. So he put a video together which was basically titled, "Did Andrew Tate lie to Tucker Carlson?" On Twitter. And apparently all it had to take was such a video that went absolutely viral. It was picked up by Liz Wheeler, I think was the first big one who reacted to it and who shared it.
The super feminist?
Yeah, and then she immediately got attacked by Andrew Tate's lawyer, this Muslim Suleiman something guy.
Is he a lawyer?
I think he is. I don't know what he is. Let me see.
That's not Tate's lawyer. Tate has that Romanian lawyer and an American lawyer.
Oh, wait a minute. No, he's investigative journalist, PhD candidate, MA philosophy, mathematics, law.
Investigative journalist who goes around trying to scare witnesses for testifying against Tate.
Yeah. I want to talk more about Islam today, but I also kind of want to go into this stuff again because
why are you so obsessed with Islam?
I don't know. I just don't like it, man.
Well, Islam's living in your head rent free. Just because the main Dawa guys are saying that as soon as they rise to power, they're going to kill you, you actually want to respond? What's wrong with you? You should embrace it with open arms.
Whenever I see somebody say, "Oh, you're so obsessed with this or that," it's just I directly read this as, I have nothing to contribute. So here's what I want to say.
That happens over and over again. It's like the Dawa guys pass around something that you can say when you have no response. So they'll say, "This is making my iman stronger." Or they'll say, I was a Muslim before watching this and I'm still a Muslim. And of course, they'll say, oh, Islam's living in your head rent free. And notice there's no content to any of this stuff, right? It's just here's what we say because we do not know how to respond to anything any of these guys are saying. So we just
I have
say
no idea
what
what you just said. Therefore, Islam lives rent free in your head.
Yes, hey.
It even rhymes, you see. Jay Bellinger said, wow, these guys are so masculine. Thank you. That's obvious.
He's got a point.
I shouldn't even say thank you.
He's got a point. Where's a code that I could smack around and choke?
Yeah.
Or top G.
Yeah. So I quickly want to actually look at this video that this guy made, which caused all the problems under the sun.
Is it masculine? We only play masculine things or we mock them.
What is happening?
For being feminist tampon stuff.
It's not masculine enough, I think, but
okay.
it might be. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
Hey, look at little Susie Tampon Princess over there on the left. And his enabler on the right.
So here's this video that dropped like a bomb in the conservative sphere of ideas. And people left and right started retweeting it and reacting to it. You see, look at this.
What are you charged with? That's a really good question. I'm charged with being the head of an organized criminal group, which is in charge of recruiting girls to make TikTok videos.
They face charges, which include human trafficking, rape, and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit.
OnlyFans is the best hustle in the world.
Are they accusing you of using violence or?
No. They're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being
coercing.
nice.
I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore. It's just not gonna work. You continue as normal. No mention of webcam.
Go ahead and pause it real quick.
Women are so stupid. Like you asked them, hey, do you want to do online porn? And they're like, no, it's disgusting.
Yeah, I just want, because this can't be emphasized enough and it needs to be said 10 million times. And everyone, please absorb this point and use it to respond to all the stupid people who say stupid things. You've got all these people out there, all these Tate fans running around basically saying the girls deserve it. If you fell for this, then you deserve it. And look, if you wanted to do porn, these girls wanted to do porn and Tate's just, helping them do it and stuff like, no. He has said repeatedly, these were girls who would never dream of doing webcam stuff. They had to be manipulated into doing it. These were girls who wanted to get married and have a family. These were beautiful family girls who wanted to marry Andrew Tate because they believed he was in love with them. They believed he was going to, sweep them off their feet and take them away, and they're going to raise a family. And that's what he's telling them. And then he uses that desire. Once you're in love, why? Why do you get them to fall in love? Because a different part of your brain is active now. Now your hormones are raging and stuff, and you're in this la la land of, hey, I'm going to spend my life with my family, living with Andrew Tate. He's my husband. He's the daddy of my kids. So that's what happens. And then he starts telling them, even before they go out there, you have to be completely loyal to me. You have to be completely loyal to me, completely loyal. Anything I say. And he programs them with that. And then once they get out there, then he has the girls start recommending the OnlyFans stuff and then take them step by step. First a little picture after getting her drunk, and then a couple of pictures, and then more and more and more and more and more. And all of it the entire time is, I need you to be helping me with this. This is my business. See, I don't care about the other girls. I only care about you. Can you help me and be my girl on sort of the inside of all this to help keep the other girls in line? Can you do that for me? And they'll do it, not because they want to do the porn, not because they want to make the money. They're doing it because they think this is the path to marriage to Andrew Tate. And they're willing to do this stuff because they think they're getting married to him. So anyway, long story short, these are not girls who wanted to do webcam stuff. They were manipulated into doing it. I don't know. Just stop spouting that nonsense, guys.
It just backfired on you.
Yeah. Backfired on you.
So I want to say very quickly, I don't know. We talk about this. We've talked about this a lot, but somebody made a comment that again looks like it's full of ignorance. It says the unknown. Only Tate can be evil, and all hookers are angels. Now, I wouldn't describe those who post stuff online as hookers, but you are missing a big point again and completely misrepresenting the whole situation here. It is Andrew Tate himself, in his own words,
He's the one who made them
who
that.
explains that the vast majority of his girls did not do any kind of sex work before meeting him. He brought them into it by making them love him, and by manipulating them over time, and somehow making them believe that this is what they are supposed to do in order for them to reach their great goal of becoming super rich and buying a great house, and finally not doing that and living together and being a wonderful couple, which he said to many of them under different pretenses. He lured people into doing this. So you don't seem to get the point here.
And I mean,
stop with that nonsense.
I mean, notice that for Tate's fans, it's the reverse. It's only girls can be evil. The guys who take girls who just want a family and who would never dream of doing porn and manipulate them, use their emotions to manipulate them into doing it, even though they don't want to. He's the good guy and they're evil. So the manipulator who turns. I mean, guys, I mean, keep in mind, there are pimps who do this, right? There are pimps who do this, and they're pimps, to be fair, there are pimps who do this in a worse fashion than Andrew Tate. They'll find some runaway girl, find her at the train station. They know the stations that the girls run away to when they run away from home or something like that. They treat the girls like princesses, get the girls to fall in love with them, get them addicted to drugs, and then turn them into prostitutes. And they spend their entire lives as prostitutes until they die of overdoses. Notice these were girls who did not want to do that. Who is the bad one? It's the guy who, I would say the pimp is the worst one there. And the only difference between Tate and those other guys, so you could say in specific instances those guys are doing something worse, but Tate is like mass marketing this to the world, training people around the world, training young guys in the world how to do the exact same thing. And there have been tons and tons of people right now who have turned their girlfriends and other girls and ex-girlfriends and so on into webcam porn actresses using Tate's methods, and all you guys do, but the girl's fault. My goodness, man. Sick people. Sick people.
Wait, who sounds like that? That was from a which cartoon is that? There is a cartoon that where there's a character that sounds exactly like that.
Oh, I don't know.
One of those recent comedy shows.
Lots of comedians have their dumb guy voice. Like Bill Burr has a dumb guy voice when he's imitating someone stupid. Brian Reed has a voice when he's. So I'm just thinking.
I know, but that sounded exactly like a character that I'm kind of. I can't think of who it is. But anyway, Jordan Peterson recently started tweeting in very strange ways. I don't know why he started doing this. Like this is how he tweets nowadays. But his response to Andrew Tate was basically, "Pimps, electronic and otherwise, are the lowest form of life." And lots of people were like, finally, yay. And other people were like, Jordan Peterson, the Matrix got him. He's being paid by the Jews, by Israel. He's an Israeli agent. No wonder he works for the Daily Wire. And they are the Jews and they control everything. That's why he serves his masters.
Oh, you know what I've also seen? I don't know if you've seen this. I've seen this like a million times already. They're saying, Jordan Peterson is just mad because Andrew Tate banged his daughter.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, but I'm sitting there thinking, like, I don't know the details. Maybe there's something I'm missing. But she posted a video saying that Andrew Tate invited her out to discuss a business venture and so on. She declined and then she left. But, you know, there are a couple pictures of them together and stuff. And everyone's saying, oh, well, if they got a picture together, then he must have banged her. I was like, okay, well, look at that picture of him with Mohammed Hijab. I guess that means he banged Mohammed Hijab. Like, are you serious, guys? Are you serious with that? But no, I mean, so think about this. So you know, Andrew Tate, young kickboxing stud. This before everyone knew he was a porn king and a pimp and so on. So you think, well, maybe they would have hooked up and so on. But guys, if I mean, I don't know Michaela Peterson at all. I watched part of probably. The only things I can think of that I've seen with her are the things we covered on your live streams, AP. But so I don't know anything about her. I don't know a whole lot about Jordan Peterson, I guess you could say, well, if he's mad because someone did something with his daughter, then he would attack Tate. But also, he really doesn't like pimpy dudes. So either way, Jordan Peterson might go after Tate. So the deciding factor here is Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is a guy who has made his life around controlling people through punishment and negative reinforcement and so on. In other words, you cross him, he's declaring war on you. What are the odds? What are the odds that Jordan Peterson is going around saying, hey, you're the lowest form of life. And Andrew Tate has this trump card of I banged your daughter and isn't pulling that thing. There is almost a zero. I would say almost, unless there's something I'm totally missing, I would say almost a 0% chance. Because keep in mind, almost a zero. I would say almost, unless there's something I'm totally missing, I would say almost a 0% chance. Because keep in mind, almost a zero. I would say almost, unless there's something I'm totally missing, I would say almost a zero. What are you playing?
What is happening? I thought this was you talking. It somehow unmuted my YouTube tab where I.
That's weird.
Wow, I was
it's magic.
Confused here. Wow.
Anyway, long story short, Andrew wants to control people by using something against them. Two, whenever someone accuses him of something, especially if it's totally true, he wants to say, your real reason for saying this is this other. Your real reason for saying this isn't because I'm a sex trafficker. Your real reason is because you're part of the Matrix and you hate my message to empower young men. He wants to say that your real reason for doing something is completely different, and therefore your reason can be dismissed. So if Jordan Peterson were going around, this guy's pimpy and this guy's he's the lowest form of life, what are the odds that someone like Andrew Tate wouldn't instantly say he's only saying this because I banged his daughter? You see, that's and just dismiss it. Like what are the odds? That's like, so anyway, point is that's exactly what Andrew Tate would have done if he had had some sort of relationship with Michaela. He's not doing that. I can only conclude no. Then I'm sticking with her story. Tate lies all the time, but he's not even he's not lying about this. I don't have any reason not to trust Michaela.
I do think that I haven't seen Andrew Tate's feed because he blocked me, and you too, and most of us who challenged his points, which is very interesting for somebody who says that you should question everything. I think he's very reserved. It hasn't really responded to Jordan Peterson much because I feel like even he might be aware that it would be a strategically very bad move on his part to have a feud with Jordan Peterson, who is, basically like a hero to a lot of people who are following him.
Yeah, these are the exact people he was trying to court for his new alliance. It's like he got the alliance with Muslims and with some others who are like the younger guys. And then it's like, ooh, I'm going to get conservatives on my side. And it looked like it was working. Tucker Carlson fell for it. But now a couple of these other guys, notice as soon as he got their attention, they condemned him. Before that, they didn't know anything. They didn't know anything about him. As soon as
he also got very angry, right? He also made a video response as soon as they started criticizing him and responding to him. That was even before Jordan Peterson responded, I think. He put a video out because conservatives and right wingers are now calling him out and seeing the truth. And he sat down and was red in the face, was angry, and started talking about how the right and the left are both the same, and the Matrix is paying right wing agents to come after.
Oh, nice!
Him. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. I didn't watch that one yet, but I heard about it. I heard he's flipping out, which, by the way, is exactly what will happen, and it will happen even more when you have someone whose entire life he's had one method, manipulation. That's how you get everything you want. Once that starts to break down, you start losing your mind because you have no plan B. It's how you've always gotten everything you wanted, and it's worked a ton. And all of a sudden, people are stopping you from being successful with your method, and it just enrages you and you flip out. You can't deal with it.
It's the Matrix.
He's going to be flipping out more and more.
It's the Matrix.
The Matrix got Jordan Peterson. Got Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro and Michael Knowles.
You know what he
John
is going
McRae.
to be really outraged about? He is going to be really outraged and going to be really desperate once the authorities are done with their investigation that is also ongoing parallel to the one that is currently in front of a court, an investigation specifically into his organized crime, and which includes charges of trafficking of minors, together with fraud and what else was there? Lots of other things. There was some
money
charges.
laundering. Yeah,
money laundering, crime organization, trafficking of minors. I'm not making this up. This is currently a second investigation that is ongoing, while the other investigation is already in front of the court and has been approved and for indictment. A second investigation, including trafficking of minors, is on its way, and they will probably present those charges to the court soon. And once trafficking of minors comes into into the play, then I want to see how Andrew Tate collapses under that pressure.
Yeah, but at that point, he'll only have the Dawa guys defending him, because they all support. Like the trafficking children is no different to them than any of the other stuff there. In fact, they'll be like, "What are you talking about? 13-year-old girl? That's an adult. That's a fully grown woman. How can you call it child trafficking?
Yeah.
It's sin of presentism." Guys, keep in mind, because this is another, I forgot to mention that when I was listing the things that his dumb followers keep saying that are complete nonsense. I still see everywhere I go online, "Oh, why isn't he in jail yet? Why hasn't he been tried yet if there's all this evidence?" Guys, because they are still investigating. They don't want to do 20 separate trials. They want to have everything they have on the guy, everything he's charged with, all the evidence, and then go do one big giant trial for him. They're still investing. You're talking about a guy who's been sex trafficking for a long time, tons of victims, tons of people involved. They're still looking through, all people's text messages and WhatsApp and all that stuff. And so the more they dig, the more stuff they find. But the stuff you've seen him charged with, guess what? Not done. And again, notice, this is not just according to him. He's the one who's talked about money laundering. He's the one who's been talking about fraud and telling the girls they're getting 50% when they're actually getting 20 or 30%. He's the one that has been blabbing all this time. It was funny, early this morning, I posted a tweet that said, and I just said, "Who's worse at covering up his crimes, Andrew Tate or Hunter Biden?" And I think this is the closest poll I've ever had before, as far as the people voting. Because on the one hand, the one guy's doing all this stuff, and he goes over and hands over a laptop with all the evidence and just leaves it there. And then Tate, of course, brags about all the stupid stuff he's been doing for years. Anyway, it's 53 to 47% in favor of Hunter Biden, but that's almost dead even.
That's very terrible judgment. People then, I guess, a lot of people who voted there are not entirely aware of how Andrew Tate snitched on himself, because I think that's significantly worse.
Isn't that nuts? I mean, how, assuming you could look up to this guy for some reason, being a kickboxer or something like that, how do you take a guy who's only going to jail right now, who's about to go to prison for a long time because he couldn't shut up about all the crimes he was committing for the past 10 years? I would think this is the biggest dope I've ever heard of in my life. This is the biggest self-snitch in all of history. I've never heard. I mean, you take an actual crime boss like Al Capone. They knew what this guy was doing forever, and all they could get him was income tax evasion or something like that. Yeah. That's what they had actually, because that's how good he was at covering up what he'd done. Andrew Tate, here's everything I've ever done. Let me tell you over and over and over and over and over in video form. The king of all dopes is the hero of young men and Dawa guys everywhere.
Yeah. Here's something from a document that I quickly want to put on the screen here. But here's a conversation that he has with somebody, with one of the girls that he lures into. "You're not stupid. You probably guess how I make so much money. I have to hide what I do in reality." She says, "Webcam?" "I've been doing this for a long time with a team of girls who were working in video chat."
She was on to him.
"The company was fake. Yes, but this is how I washed my dirty money. After that, men started getting jealous and look at this. Men started getting jealous and started asking me how they can start a video chat business. They will never do that because they are losers. But they like
So
the idea.
his fans that they think are, oh, he loves us. He's training us in the war room. He's like, look at these losers.
Yeah, this is what he thinks about his paying fans, who
They're losers.
who are like, yeah, I subscribe to his stuff, and I pay so much money. I am now part of his war room, and I learn this and that from him. And he thinks they just like the idea of me doing it and them and teaching them, but they are losers. They will not do this stuff. This is and he sells this, and he uses that to basically he explains here they like the idea. So I started charging men to teach them. That's what those videos are all about. It's all they cover. You understand? Now it goes even deeper. Some of the girls who work for me, I use them to do other things, to move money or illegal things, documents, etc. I will never do that with you, but I need those girls for work, sometimes money-related things. He is clearly here admitting about to washing dirty money, using a company for fake stuff, deceiving people, teaching them these courses in order to somehow in the background launder his dirty money, and this is all in messages. I mean, what kind of a this is what I think of when people say he's a genius or something. What kind of an idiot puts stuff like this in a message?
Yeah. By the way, because you have Tate fans who are saying, oh, well, the stuff he said he was doing all these years was just putting on a show, which was like, okay, so he trained you guys and he was lying to you the entire time. But here, I actually think he's full of it on some of this stuff. It's because notice this is a girl. This is by the time because this is September of last year. This is September of last year. By this time, he's known as a guy. He's had all these videos on webcam stuff. And so now he's talking to a girl, trying to get her, to work for him. And he's already known as a webcam pimp. And so he says, hey, you know what I've been doing? And she goes, webcam. And they're, oh, no, that's I've got this undercover. Now, the webcam business was a criminal enterprise because it was set up to abuse women and keep them under control and stuff. All this, that's just a cover. That's just a cover. All the webcam stuff is just a cover for all the stuff I'm really doing. Now it's just like he's trying to get bad boy cred and, oh, I'm a bad boy here. I'm a bad boy. But it's like, it's funny because here's a girl who, unlike the earlier girls, is on to the webcam stuff. So he's got to explain that. And he explains it as, yeah, that's just a show. So yeah, you're going to be doing webcam stuff for me, but it's just because of my real James Bond underground, my Bond villain type stuff that I'm doing here. So I kind of don't believe some of this stuff he's saying.
And he will go to trial and they will ask him about this and he'll be like, and while here he was pretending, he was like, I'm a tough guy, I do this and that. At trial, he will be like, oh, I was just joking. I was just acting tough.
I was just pretending for money.
Please, I wasn't serious.
By the way, notice because there he was talking about his fans that he was training and he called them losers.
Yeah.
That's how he is with the women. He pretends to love them and want to marry them. Behind the scenes, when he's talking to other people about them, he calls them whores, right? But think about this, guys. Just if you take nothing else away, just think about this because the world is filled with manipulators and there are more coming, and the entire world has apparently been conditioned to accept some manipulator who says something that they agree with. But just think, just get the big picture in your head just for a couple seconds here. Tate, admittedly, according to him, he used to pretend to be a hot girl online, talking to people who were looking at hot girls. He would pretend to be the girl typing messages, talking about, oh yeah, I love you. Oh yeah, if I didn't know so much money back home, or if I didn't have my sick mom to take care of back home, I'd be with you. And according to him, these guys are selling their houses, sending it to the women, AKA to Andrew Tate, who's the actual woman they're responding to, right? Notice, he pretends to be a woman and pretends to care about these men, but he's just trying to get their money and to just get them to do what he wants, right? So he does that. He does the exact same thing with the women. He pretends, oh, I love you. Yeah, these other girls, I don't really care about them. But you, I love you. I want to marry you. There's just all this stuff you have to do for me. And behind the scenes, he's calling them whores and so on. But notice what he's doing. He's pretending to care about these girls to get money from them and to control them and get them to do what he wants. Then he's actually training people how to use the same method and telling these guys, yeah, you could be a top G. You could be a top G like me. And he's calling them losers. Does he actually care about them? No. He's making them think he cares about them to get money and to build an army who will do what he wants. And so this is the example he's set for all these years. And notice that was last year. That was that message that he was calling his fans that he's training losers. That wasn't even a year ago. That was September of last year. That's what he was thinking. And all of a sudden, I just care about young men, ladies and gentlemen. I just care about young men. That's what I'm being attacked for my dedication to helping and caring about young men who need to send me money in the war room and need to go around serving me online. And it's like, guys, you think the women were stupid for falling for this? You think the women were stupid? The women didn't have all the information that we now have. The women, I mean, you don't know anything about Andrew Tate. You think this big personality is in love with you, and you say, oh yeah, I want to marry him. Okay, they don't have enough to go on. Of course, lots of women will fall for that. Lots of guys would fall for the same thing in reverse if some hot woman that they looked up to started saying, I'm in love with you. So the women at least have some excuse. We see, okay, he pretended to like these guys when he was pretending to be a woman. He was deceiving them to get money and control. He did the same thing with the women. He did the same thing with his followers in the PhD program that he was training. He's calling them losers, but he's pretending to them that he really cares about them and wants them to be successful. And now here you are, not even a year later, and I really care about you young men. I'm going to rescue you from all the bad things in life. And you could be with me. Just send me some money. And they fall for it. See, he's just trying to help people. He's such a good guy. And it's like, I mean, if you thought the women deserve what they get because they're stupid, my goodness, his followers now are way, way, way dumber than any of those webcam girls.
I want to quickly point out here something. There is this comment by Protestant Believer who said death penalty in regards to Andrew Tate, and it's quite funny. It reminds me of Donald Trump here yesterday saying that human traffickers should get a death penalty. Of course, he's saying this because it's almost elections, and he's trying to appeal to people who just watched the movie Sound of Freedom. That's just my opinion on it. But this is interesting. You could say that Donald Trump here is
Donald Trump calls for the death penalty for Andrew and Tristan Tate.
Yes. So that's an interesting idea. David, you should make a video about that. You should make a video saying Donald Trump says Andrew Tate should be put to death.
All you YouTubers out there who are watching, we just gave you a roadmap for a fun video.
What is happening here? I was just scrolling through Twitter, looking for something else, and then I saw this. I don't know what in the world is going on here.
What happened? To do with ball and that? You like
okay,
balls?
Well, I brought you a little gift because I know you love hot dogs. So here you go.
What are you watching?
Here's some hot dogs for you, Mo. Wow. Yeah, there's some hot dogs, Mo.
What is this?
You love pork, right?
What is
that a Muslim?
Yeah, this guy is a Muslim. I think he's a Speaker's Corner Shia Muslim guy.
This guy threw some hot dogs on him?
This is the same guy who I think he has a video. He's like, I love women. You know that video?
Oh, the guy they said you're gay, and then he flipped out for 10 minutes. What? Oh, what? I gotta say that to me. And it's like, dude. So the more enraged you get, the worse it looks. It's like Muhammad Hijab when he just randomly posts, I love women.
What is happening here? I don't even understand. Why did this happen?
No, you like.
And why is the chat? What happened with the chat? Am I the only one who noticed that?
What?
Yeah, the chat completely went blank. Yeah, somebody else said chat stopped working. Chat. What was that about?
I see the chat right here. What are you talking about?
I know, but no new chats were appearing. It was all stopped, and now it's back again.
It's the Matrix. The Matrix is out to get us because of our powerful message exposing Tate.
Chat is back again. I'm just curious. What did that look like? Did you guys see that? Were you not able to type anything, or did it just stop? For me, it just stopped here. I couldn't see anything. That was weird. Yeah. Anyway, so I just saw this video.
Dogs, Mo, they're pretty good, aren't they?
I don't know who this guy is. I think his name is Alex Stan or something. And this other guy is.
Why'd he do that?
I don't know, but this is
Right
pretty
wing
messed up.
YouTuber. That is messed. I mean, that is messed up. Like, you know, I'm not for I'm dumping hot dogs on. Sounds like messed up.
I think Stein later claimed the sausages were not pork, but turkey and halal.
Say it was halal. You can't get mad at me. I just told you it was pork.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why he even did that. All he had to do was say, if that's the same guy from Speaker's Corner, all he had to do was say, "I heard you're gay. Is that true?" And then he would have flipped out in exactly the same way.
I so badly want to play that video, but it has such harsh language, more so than anything we've ever seen here. Oh boy. But I watched that video several times and I laughed very, very hard every single time.
Girl. After you fuck the girl, you do the PhD
Yeah, speaking of language.
test. So yeah, on corporatetape.com, I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree.
So smart.
Clever. That teaches.
Isn't it creepy how all
who
these
is this
people, all these interviews, the guys are all cracking up, laughing and cheering him on when he's talking about taking girls who want to start families and turning them into porn actresses, and all the guys are like, "Yeah, good job, man. Oh, that's funny. That's so funny."
I know it's like I'm sorry, but I will say if you were a proper, reliable, trustworthy person, you would respond to that with I don't know, with a sense of disgust or with cringe.
Yeah.
When I hear stuff like that, I think, oh, what the shut up.
Or even
This guy is like clever.
even just a question about the ethics of the whole thing, like.
Yeah.
And so, just to be clear, Andrew Tate, you believe it's okay to take a girl who has never thought of doing any sort of sex work or porn or OnlyFans or any of that stuff, just a girl who wants to get married and have a family and have kids. You believe it's okay to take that girl, to manipulate her and to turn her into a porn actress, destroy all her hopes and dreams of what she actually wanted, and to use her and to do all of that just to get money. That would be the follow-up question. Then, of course, blah, blah, blah. If they fall for it, keep in mind, guys, the central thought in a manipulator's head is always, if you fall for it, you deserve it. Because if I didn't do it and you fell for this, someone else would do it. So it might as well be me. That's the thoughts going through their head. So that would be the first question. And then the follow-up question, when he says, yes, it's totally fine, is, would it be okay to do that with your daughter? Do you think that would be fine? And his response, oh, my daughter's not going to follow it because she's going to have a strong man to look up to.
Yeah,
blah,
good
blah,
luck.
blah, blah,
Good luck. Good luck with that. Yeah. if that's your idea of how people fall for things, then good luck.
And I think it would be it would be important. I would if I were interviewing, I would want to push the point. I didn't ask if she's going to fall for it or not. If I could get her to fall for it, do you believe it would be okay to turn your daughter into a porn actress?
Yeah.
If I could do it, if my game was good enough, if I mastered all your skills, took them to the next level so that even you couldn't stop me, would that be fine and moral? And that's what I'd ask. None of these guys do. They're just, haha, good one, Tate, good one, haha, PhD, pimp and hose.
Who in the world is this guy even? And who's this dork?
It looks like a dork.
This is funny. Kerfer said, I have cringed on this clever about 100 times. I know, same. I watched this clip. I watched it so many times, and every single time I stop and think, oh, shut up. Whenever he says clever. Do you remember we talked to...
What is that?
Do you remember we talked to...
Ein Volk, ein Reich, ein Führer.
Remember we talked to Pearl, we had her here together, and we tried talking to her about the stuff that Mohammed did, and it looked like she was quite receptive to it, and she was like, she was understanding what we were saying. Although she wasn't really, I mean, she's not really the brightest person in the room, but it was hard for her to understand some of the basic things that we were saying. But still, she kind of somehow got an idea of how Islam is okay with child marriage and how Muhammad was okay with child marriage and all of that. Just after a few days after leaving our stream, she went on Twitter and basically apologized for being so disrespectful to Islam and Muslims.
Towards people who support molesting children.
And you know what she's doing right now?
You
might not be following her journey, but what she's doing right now, after apologizing to Muslims for being so disrespectful, is she teams up with neo-Nazis now and made a parody song about Jews,
dedicated to Nick Fuentes. My goodness,
calling them those who shall not be named, and basically asking if Hitler was really so bad and stuff like that. Which I have to be very fair here. I don't think these are Pearl's own ideas, because in all honesty, I don't think anything is her own idea. I don't think she can actually come up with these ideas. She just takes whatever she hears from some other guys that she associates with, and she has a thing for guys. Like if a man is in her presence, she just feels like taking whatever that guy puts out. And in this case, she's been hanging around with Nick Fuentes, who is a neo-Nazi and a literal actual fascist, who loves
That dude's a scumbag.
The Holocaust is partially justified and otherwise misrepresented. And so she takes that kind of stuff and basically starts spouting stuff like, why can't we talk about the Jews? And yeah, that's where she is going right now. This comes after apologizing to Muslims. And what's funny about this, what's also funny about this is she's also friends with Sneeko, and Sneeko is also friends with Nick Fuentes, and they together hang out, and they are now all Jew-hating, fascist, neo-Nazis who also are friends with Sheikh Uthman. And
yeah, I wonder how much stuff they actually believe, and how much of it is just like there's this problem. Once people become addicted to attention, then you kind of have to keep going further and further and further in order to get more attention than the other people. And one way to do that is to start saying a bunch of Nazi stuff. Keep in mind, this doesn't mean you don't believe it. It means that there's an added incentive in your brain that, oh, if I go down this road, then I get tons and tons of attention. And so, yeah, I can't even tell nowadays because, yeah, it's Chris Rock did that in his most recent special, saying everyone's addicted to attention. He goes through the different ways you can get attention, but this is one of the ways to get attention.
Of course, you would say that because you're paid by Israel.
I'm just trying to get attention.
You're trying to get attention from Israel and the Matrix.
See?
Wait a minute, let me.
Why can't we talk about
That's funny though.
The Jews.
without getting kicked off of YouTube?
The Jews, YouTube. Okay, that makes sense. What I find very funny about this whole thing is she only talked about Jews once on one of her major videos, on a long video that she published on her YouTube channel, and she wasn't banned for it. It didn't get taken down. She took it down herself because she couldn't handle the heat of people saying, why in the world would you do this? And that was an interview with Nick Fuentes, where Nick Fuentes was just lying endlessly, talking crap about the Holocaust and praising Hitler, and she was just sitting there. Oh yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, okay, I get it. Oh yeah, right. And and she took that down later. So I don't even know what she's complaining about. What an idiot. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to these idiots.
Basically, how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. Oh, and you're always working. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So you'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So, okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen, come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Just
fine.
talk.
But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I say it's so important to have a good first girl. Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. This girl's like, okay, well, I'll try it. Put both girls on camera together the first day, so the new girl can sit there and just sit with the other girl and get drunk. Give him a bottle of vodka.
First night that I worked for him, Andrew bought me like 5 bottles of wine. So I got completely drunk because I'd never done webcam work. So I was very, very nervous.
And that's how I got rich. So that teaches everything I know from start to finish about not only getting girls, not only obtaining them, but retaining them. Because that's a completely different game as well.
And over time, I just built up this big little empire of webcam girls. At one point, I had 4 locations, 75 girls working for me. I'd take around half of the money, around 50%.
You take 50%.
Around 50%.
They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity is because of taxes.
He would just pay me a flat fee of 50.
See, there's one thing that I'm questioning here. Like when he tells his paying subscribers that he was telling them it's only 50, but he was, it was actually not. I'm wondering if that is real or if he was just acting like a.
Well, so there are two possibilities. Keep in mind, guys, people who are lying give off a lying vibe if you kind of know the signal. But this is a situation where it could be either way, right? So he's saying to the one guy 50%, and he told this girl 50%. But that's in a public sort of podcast, right? So if you're talking in public and things that might get back to the girls, you say, yeah, 50%, 50%, 50%. If you're really giving them 20 or 30%, yeah, you might want to tell that behind the scenes to the guys you're training. And so, yeah, you could lie in public and say 50%, but behind the scenes is 20 or 30%. Or if you're just trying to impress them even more, you could just say you're only giving them 20 or 30% because it makes you sound like more of a criminal mastermind. So that's a situation where, given that this dude's a compulsive liar and schemer and so on, he could be doing either one of those.
Yeah. I'm surprised it took the authorities this long to catch him with clips like this. Well, the Matrix is not very competent in real life, so that's why the agents of the Matrix are depicted in the movies faster than they actually are in real life. So
and by the way, that's the problem with manipulators and narcissists and so on. They want, a narcissist wants attention. He's doing all this stuff for years and not getting caught for it because people aren't paying attention and aren't investigating him and so on. And so you just keep doing this stuff. I want attention. I want attention. Okay. Finally, you have everyone's attention. And now they've got 10 years of stuff to go through and expose you. And you go, oh, I don't get it. How is this happening to me? You wanted the attention, dude. You wanted it.
It's the Matrix. Hey, how did you like the thumbnail that I made?
Oh, that's probably the best thumbnail either. I remember when we took this picture in my garage, my Bugatti.
With your Bugatti. Oh boy.
£15 an hour.
We got to the point where we had these guys falling in love with my models. Serious, big time in love, right?
Bigly. Hey, did you see Sound of Freedom?
No, my wife and I want to go see it at some point, but no, haven't seen it yet.
How dare you? You haven't seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm thinking maybe I will.
I want to see that. I'll probably see Oppenheimer just because, I don't know where they're going with the movie, but I'm interested in Oppenheimer.
You're not supposed to see Oppenheimer. We are supposed to make reviews of the movies, David and I, and David is supposed to go see Barbie, and I'll go see Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Because, I have to watch it too. I have to watch Oppenheimer, definitely. But yes, Sound of Freedom 2 and Barbie.
Sending crazy money, and they were convinced they were going to meet the chick. This is almost where I kind of felt bad. Because they're like, can we meet? I've sent you $200,000.
When you look at the money that I was actually bringing in, it just
200,000
doesn't even scratch the surface.
I had these guys selling their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all.
And pretending to care about them.
Yeah.
Like I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money. That's what I wanted. So I was a pimp in that sense.
Were there any other instances where there was physical abuse?
I saw him smack girls with a belt.
Some ideas? You want my ideas? That's right, lock the door, you knew I was going to beat the out of you. If you behaved, I wouldn't have to hit you, would I? You don't. Get out. You can't stay in there forever.
Once again, this is an IQ.
Of course, when you show stuff like this, he acts like, "Oh no, this is just she likes that," and it's, we are. I don't know what kind of dumb stuff he said about it. He also said at one point that real G's who have been around, when they see the videos, stuff like this, they're not surprised. They know that this is how things go. There's also a video of him where he says that you should be dominant to to your girls that you have, and when the time comes, you should reprimand them, you should beat them, you should do this and that to them. So I mean, and this video, it's he himself is filming this, I guess, as a I don't know what the motive entirely is there, but to remember, to show her, to have a recording of his own of how dominant he is and how his women are submissive to him, or otherwise they get punished. I don't know.
But think about it. So the most benefit of the doubt that you can give him here, because that stuff was online at some point, that this stuff was posted in various, I don't know where he was posting back in the day, because I only found out about him last year. But so he's posting this stuff for years, showing what he does, and he's actually in some of the live streams with the girls and stuff like this, and showing guys and beating the girl with the belt and stuff. That's how he got kicked off that show he was on, Big Brother or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But think about this. So once he's kicked off, he says this stuff was consensual. Okay, might have been, but notice he was representing it as authentic to his fans and showing them how you're supposed to treat a woman. So even if you're completely acting, like if I take my wife and I make it look like I'm beating her and I say, this is how you keep a woman in line, and you train other people to say that, and you to think that's how you treat a woman. And then, if you get called out for it a couple of years later, you say, no, that was consensual. Okay, but you train people to do that. It's the same thing with like the people who say, he's just playing a character in these old videos where he says he's pimping all these girls. Okay, best case scenario, he made it all up and he never did anything with weapon. He was still training people to do it. And so best case scenario, even if we think he's the biggest liar and con artist in the world and he made it up and never did anything to women, he still trained other people to do it. And he would still be a garbage scum. I mean, still be a total scumbag for teaching that stuff. But with that said, we know he did a lot of stuff, and so are the courts. Courts know that too. And what did Bruce Rivers say his chances were of walking? You recall? Oh yeah, zero. He said 0 chance of walking on this stuff, because that's how. I mean, think about it. I mean, you rarely. I mean, police work hard with interrogation and so on to try to get a confession out of someone. If it's a smart guy, he'll just, as soon as he walks in there, go, I want a lawyer, and that way you don't have to. They don't even get you in that position. Tate literally blabs about it for years, more than any criminal in the history of humanity. This guy blabbed about his crimes, and he's the top G. He's the smart one. He's the mastermind. The mastermind is the biggest self-snitch of all time, according to his fans.
Yeah.
What type of wrestling's your son practicing, David? My oldest 2 sons did jiu-jitsu for a long time. Then they both got into wrestling. One wasn't into it after a while. The other one stayed into it throughout high school. He just graduated. But it was regular school wrestling.
You see, David's sons are G.
T. Super masculine. My super masculine sons.
This is funny. I did this earlier. Yeah. Somebody posted this in response to me. Your religion offends my worldview.
Yeah, I saw that.
I know, and I changed it into this. Just move to an Islamic country if it's so great, but life is better here. Yeah, and this is from Daniel Kikichu's website. He even puts his logo on it because apparently it's so cool to make these dumb memes. So yeah,
he's super masculine. That's a super masculine thing to do.
It is absolutely. Yeah,
test, right? Because any guy,
needless to say, Daniel Kikichu is also very fit and looks very desirable.
Who's bad with women would look at it and go, "Tate's a woman beater."
I say it. Look at the camera. This is what happens. You don't listen. Look at the camera. Why are you getting hit? Why are you getting beaten? You don't listen. You do as I say.
Any man who's actually a G, who's been around a little bit,
yeah,
would look at the video and go, "Man, she wants that." The media machine, they'd call up ex-girlfriends and say, "If you have anything bad to say about Andrew, we can pay you $50,000 for the story." And they tried very hard. They didn't find any evidence of anything.
And I had gone to the shower.
They didn't find evidence of anything. What a liar. Aren't there like 70,000 pages? I saw something like over 70,000 pages of evidence they've got on this guy already.
To be fair, there might be like lots of duplication there. But yeah, I think they have tons, heaps of. And we have last week we showed everyone a lot of evidence that is in form of transcripts and other things. But the prosecution probably has evidence that will be brought to trial, stuff that didn't make it out into the public yet, and there is a lot. I mean, we're talking about the court reviewing the application for the charges, going through them and deciding that yes, the evidence seems to support these charges, therefore we are approving it, and therefore sending it to trial. And this guy comes here and says, "Oh, they couldn't find evidence." So okay, apparently the court is not doing its job right. Maybe he can say that to them when he goes to trial.
Isn't that like? I mean, if you're, this is why I said that manipulators sort of condition the people they're manipulating, but the people they're manipulating condition them in reverse. They're conditioning them on what they can get away with and what works. And it's this ongoing problem. You've got your followers that you're talking to, and they mindlessly agree with anything you say, no matter how easy it is to disprove. They'll just go along with what you say. And that programs your brain to think, I can say anything and it will instantly be believed, not realizing as soon as other people pay attention, all your lies are super easy to break down. There's no evidence against me. You could search for 10 seconds and pull up the court documents and see, no, there are a bunch of women accusing him of a bunch of stuff. And then you look and see he's filing lawsuits against the women who are accusing him of stuff. Wait a minute, I thought they're not accusing him of anything. And some of the women have to go into hiding because he sends his troll army after them, and people actually showing up to their houses and so on. And these girls have to go into hiding. But wait, I thought they're all saying he's innocent. It's like, dude, you're lying, and you make he's not even a good liar. He's like the worst liar in the world. He makes his lies so easy to expose. This guy has to have the absolute stupidest. Well, let me change that. His fans are in two categories. They're either like the dumbest people in the world, because I mean, if you see all of this stuff and you do not go, this guy's a liar, you are the biggest moron on the planet. Or there are people who know he's lying and they don't care. They want him. They know he's guilty and they want him to get away with it. And he has a lot of fans like that who, he's doing all this stuff to these girls and I want him to get away with it.
I know for a fact that a lot of Entertained fans are incredibly stupid.
That's true.
But you could also probably go for the other option as well. It's hard to point at one and say this is it, right? Don't know. It's hard to tell. Very, very hard.
I noticed I saw him raping her, and
this was an earlier case of rape than the one he's actually accused with in court, because I think that was in the UK. And they didn't think that they had enough to go on because it's a he said, she said thing, and she's a webcam girl, so courts aren't going to believe him, so they ignored it. But that's why it's been pointed out that other countries could bring up new charges against him as well, because now you've got a lot more to go on.
Yeah,
and now you've got a pattern of conduct and so on. So people will believe the girls more than him.
Why was the woman there? It's her own fault. Why was she there to begin with?
Yeah, it's a girl's fault. Yeah. It's a girl's fault.
Why was
if a girl wants to get married to a guy and then he just beats her and rapes her, it's her fault.
Yeah, why was she there to begin with? If a woman does things like these, then it shouldn't be his fault for raping them or beating them.
Marissa said it was good, but it was consensual rape.
Jeez. Okay. AP and DW, what's your view on Pearly things? I think we just made that very clear, right?
Yeah. I still don't know. She seems I don't know. She seems to be someone who wants attention and is fallen in with some stupid people who, I mean, keep in mind, if attention is what you want, you can get attention, and she's getting attention. So
I recently contacted her.
she has
again,
received her reward.
just as Allah says in the Quran, they will receive their reward. I texted her recently and said that I would like to talk to Nick Fuentes, Sneeko, and her, and invite them here. She hasn't responded to that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I was a bit too harsh to her in the public or something. I don't know.
Someone else. I mean, that's the person's YouTube name. Someone else says, "How can it be rape when the parents consented?"
Fareed.
Yeah.
Those are Fareed's beautiful words. Metagalaxy said, "Did you see Messi debut yesterday?" I did not. I did not. David has no idea who that is, who we're talking about, because he is American, unfortunately.
What is this, soccer or something?
Yeah, it makes no sense
Oh,
because because Messi is also in America now, and he plays for Miami, which is a very strange thing to do. I haven't. Yeah, interesting stuff. You should ask God Sad about it. He's like he's a huge Messi fan. He will write articles about him and make videos about him. Moses Irfan said David impression of Tate is on spot. On spot. Alberto says 10 fans in interviews give him like
he does.
Kim Jong-un treatment. Give him
Jong-un
like
treatment.
give him young. Give him like. Okay, give him like Kim Jong-un treatment. Everything he says or does must be celebrated. Yes, I compare it just to it. Just makes me think of the movie Fight Club, you know, and how he has just minions who follow him and who idolize him, and I don't know, it's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. It's a cult, very stupid cult.
Cult of
whatever he says becomes truth for them immediately. I mean,
yeah. Keep in mind the problem here is everyone's getting to the situation where they're scared of some other groups in the world, so they rally around some charismatic figure who tells them what they want to hear, even though he's a lying scumbag. And guess what? You know, Tate's going to get locked up, and there will be a few people who learn their lesson, but the vast majority are just going to cling to the next thing that comes along. And it's kind of pathetic, guys. But no, guys, let me lay this down as a rule. Mindlessly letting some scumbag, sex trafficker / rapist manipulate you into believing any idiotic thing that he says, no matter how obviously false and how easy it is to disconfirm, does not make you a super masculine dude. Take it from the most masculine dudes you'll ever see in your life. D. Wood and the Apostate Prophet. Check our picture in the thumbnail if you don't believe it.
Oh boy. I personally still think it's such a dumb thing to focus, to center your life around, to be like this ideal masculine guy. I mean, it's just so pathetic to me. I know lots of people might disagree there with me, but it is such a pathetic endeavor to me. It's like it must feel very sad to. I hear the stuff that these guys are talking about, how you should be a real man. You should make sure to be like very masculine, be a real man and a high value man and stuff like that. And I think, dude, I mean, you have this aspiration to work toward what other people expect you to be. You know, you want to impress other people, mostly impress other men, actually, and you want to get girls and talk about it to impress other men, but then you are acting like you are this strong, independent, fantastic, powerful, ideal guy, when you are just following the masses and just doing what other people expect you to do. Isn't that kind of pathetic? I mean, I honestly think I often don't think very much of myself, but I honestly think I have more strength, more independence, more authenticity. I'm definitely more original than any of these people, and I'm probably pathetic. You know, these people are just so. I don't know.
You heard it here, folks. AP's a loser. He said it. I guess that only leaves one super masculine top.
It's so laughable. It's like it's ironically also
it's pathetic.
it's ironically also like very, very, very gay. And I'm not saying that in an insulting way. I'm just saying it's kind of. I'm just saying it because it's ironic, because they will have this anti-gay take, but then it's like their whole life revolves around impressing other men and getting their approval and affection, and it's kind of funny to me. Yeah.
My 5 reasons. One of them is the Me Too era. They go, "Oh, well, you're a rapist." I say, "No, I'm not a fucking rapist." But I like the idea of being able to just say, to do what I want. I like being free.
And of course, they don't go out. They're not allowed out. You stay in the house.
Because I'm not particularly, what would you say, impressed by what he's done on the sex business front. It seems to me a bit on the pimpy side, let's say.
I get called a pimp a lot,
to put it mildly.
This was like a very mild take by Jordan Peterson before he actually I don't know, it's I talked a lot during those streams about or some of those streams about Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, and Michael Knowles. I made a tweet in which I kind of talked really harshly about them and their indifference to what's going on with Andrew Tate and all of that, considering that they have overlapping audiences. Michael Knowles actually reacted to my tweet and pointed out that he did criticize Andrew Tate in the past, a long time ago.
Yeah, in your face, AP.
Yeah,
he did say it that time.
Yeah, that time, 6 months ago.
But then he said something else recently, didn't he? Didn't he go?
Yeah, but now after this video came out, which we were just watching, Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, Michael Knowles, and also I think Matt Walsh all gave finally proper reactions, and Ben Shapiro called it evil and disgusting. Michael Knowles, I watched both of those videos. I watched Michael Knowles' video. I don't know what Matt Walsh said. I find that guy very boring to watch. But Michael Knowles, I watched him. Sometimes I'm just saying these.
What did he say? What did he say, by the way? So I mean, like the Jordan Peterson. In that video clip, he's just, he seems a bit pimpy, but then he calls him the lowest form of life, and it's gosh, that's brutal,
lowest
man.
form of life. And they're complaining because he said that. But Michael Knowles made some. So he was. You can clearly see that he really detests Andrew Tate. It's quite obvious. But he also says it's clear that he's deceiving and fraudulently abusing and exploiting women through means that he himself clearly admitted on camera multiple times. And he makes a point where he says, you could even argue, he says, that what he does is worse than raping people because and he appeals to old to philosophy, to Greek philosophy and ideas, where he says that raping is a violation of the body, whereas seducing people in order to exploit them is a violation of their mind and the body together. And you could say that this guy is therefore much worse, and points that out. And of course, he is also being charged for rape. So
look at his stupid face here. By the way, notice just that epic fail. That I mean, he got the Dawa guys on his side. There were some Muslim. There were a few Muslim women and a couple others who were actively opposing him, but by and large, they just jumped right on the Tate train. He had a lot of young guys, and then he got it in his mind that he's going to combine the Muslim supporters and he's going to get the conservatives on his side. So he has this even bigger army of people, and he got the Tucker interview, and that looked like it was gonna win him the support of conservatives, and then it just backfired. Because why? Because he said so many things in there that were obvious lies, that it made it easy for his opponents to say, look, he said that, here's the refutation. Oh, he said that, here's the refutation. Like this video we're watching right here. He said that. Notice if he had just been slightly more honest about the charges against him and then gave some sort of alternative defense or something like that, people might have fallen for it, but he made his lies so easy to expose that everyone saw him being exposed and said, "Oh, this guy's a scumbag." Didn't know much about him, heard about him online and saw him trending on Twitter, didn't know what to believe, saw the Tucker thing, thought he was a good guy, and turns out this guy's a garbage liar. And then they all want their conservative heroes to also respond to him so that other conservatives don't fall for it. And it just blew up right in his face. I mean, he would be in a much better position right now if he hadn't done the Tucker interview.
Just backfired on you. It just backfired on you.
It just backfired on you.
That's from the Aladawa video.
Where
he explains to me that I and other ex-Muslims should be put to death, and then he's like, "It just backfired on you." That's what he says. But yeah,
hey, that's actually a good comparison, because Andrew Tate and Ali Dawa are basically like the same level of tactical genius. They both are good at duping some really, really stupid people who are easy to con. But as soon as other people see it, they're like, "Are you serious? People are falling for this. This is so idiotic."
Okay, I have to say one thing here. I mean, to be very fair, Andrew Tate is despicable, but he's not very dumb. Whereas Ali Dawa is just
that's true.
Is probably one of the dumbest people on the internet, I would say.
So Tate is smarter, but I don't know. There's something like the stuff he's done is so insanely stupid that you think he's stupid, and so I can only explain it in terms of he's gotten away with it for so long. It has actually wired his brain to convince him that he can get away with everything, and that's why he's just like keeps doing this stupid stuff. He thinks he's invincible.
Because people say that he's God. People say all the time that he's God, and he probably believes it. He's God, man. It's God.
I don't like your Allah. Hate.
The reason I use the term is because I don't see it as a negative term. I see it as positively inspirational and motivating person.
She has to respect
positively inspirational and motivated person. PIMP. Pimp.
You and love you and want to work with you, and that's done through positively inspirational and motivating person.
I'm gonna send you a book. It's a guy called Pimpin' Ken, who's a street pimp.
Positively imprisoned moron person. I don't know. Come up with something. Moronic person.
Moronic
pedophile.
Pervert.
Pervert. Yeah, pervert. Go with pervert.
50 laws of the game. And one of the laws of the game is a hoe without instruction is headed for destruction. They're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being nice.
Let me read you
coercing.
then what you have said about
what was the word? What was the word? Muhammad Hijab used, and you didn't know how to use it, and it made Michaela Peterson laugh. I don't remember what the word was. He said something. She laughed. the camera cut to her because she made noise and she was laughing at him.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what the word was, but that's what I did. Oh,
yeah.
That's what, like, coerced.
He also, Mohammed Hijab also picked up that word, pusillanimous, which he started pronouncing pusillanimous.
Ultra-crepidarian.
And he doesn't even realize that pusillanimous is actually an adjective, but he starts using it as a noun to say you are a pusillanimous.
Yeah,
I mean,
and notice
if you're going to learn words, just learn it correctly.
It's the same thing where he's been conditioned by his followers that this is what impresses his followers. You just have to sound like you used a big word, and he's so smart, he's so brilliant, and you could be saying the most idiotic. You could sound like an idiot to an educated person, but you sound like a genius to your fans, and so that's all that matters.
I mean, isn't it obvious? Pusillanimous. It ends with.
It's got an OUS on the end.
OUS. It's clearly an adjective. I mean, shouldn't you, an educated person, be aware of that instead of just reading synonyms, finding that word, and thinking, "Oh, I like this word. I'm going to use that now to insult the enemies of Islam." You are a pusillanimous.
Golden showers. Golden showers.
My job was to meet a girl, go on a few
Hey, this is my screenshot. I took this.
dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think
That's exactly what you said on your website.
No, I've never said that. So yeah, on corporatetape.com, I have my PhD program.
I think the belief.
This is amazing, man. And you know what? I feel a sense of justice and relief, satisfaction, happiness. I feel proud of it. Seeing
We're proud of that.
We're proud of that. Seeing that we have come together and we have exposed this guy and his stuff so much, and others have taken it. We have taken a lot from the others. Others have taken from us and moved on and put this out there into the public. And all of this came out. And we have been on this forever. And now we see the results, the fruits. Of all our effort, and it's great. I feel so happy about this.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Dawa, where you keep telling them, and it seems they're not listening, and you tell them, and it seems they're not listening, and you tell them, and you tell them, and you tell them, and you keep telling them, and telling them, and you're like, is any of this making any sort of difference? And then you see something collapse, like perfect preservation collapses, and they stop using it. The scientific miracles just collapses, and they stop using it. So it's like, yes, guys, it does. If everyone does their part and everyone works hard to expose nonsense, then yes, it eventually does pay off.
Works, man.
On your website.
No, I've never said that. So yeah, on corporatetape.com, I have my PhD program.
I think the belief is that you were charged with human trafficking.
Yeah, that's human trafficking, because what you do is you force a girl to work against her will for financial gain. That's human trafficking. And their justification for this is that girls do TikTok. Some girls I know who they found who say they're not victims have TikTok accounts. PhD is a pimp and hose degree.
There's
like
one thing
all
here.
you had to do was look at one single page, because it repeats similar charges for a bunch of different victims. All you had to do was glance at one page and see what he was actually charged with. And the moment he says, oh yes, the girls who say I didn't do anything and they're not victims, they had a TikTok app on their phones, and that's all I've been accused of. You liar. That was probably the biggest part of his downfall right there, is just lying about what the charges were, because that was the easiest thing to expose. There it is right on the screen.
And that's the funny thing. He basically, I was angry about that whole Tucker Carlson interview, but it brought something very good. That Tucker Carlson interview set up the explosion that would happen right after this whole the exposing of Andrew Tate and the very clear lies that he tells on camera, and the contrast, the truth which is available here right in front of us. That interview, which he probably, I would say, I don't know the truth about this, but I could guess that Andrew Tate probably paid a lot of money for that interview. But that interview basically became a big downfall for him. And yeah, that's amazing.
In fact, you can imagine Tucker coming out like a week from now going, well, I saw what a danger that Andrew Tate was posing and how he's duping so many people. So I came up with my brilliant plan. I was going to go in there, throw him softball out, just let him lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. Because that, by the way, that is a strategy. You can just you can go along with people's lies, let them keep lying and lying and lying in order to let them be exposed by other people and exposed later. I don't believe for a second that's what he was doing, but I put it this way: I've done that. I've just gone along and let people keep lying and lying and lying and lying and lying, knowing, okay, we can expose these lies later, but don't stop the lying train. Let them keep burying themselves in lies. But yeah,
the one thing that from lawyers is, if you have committed a crime, especially, or if you are charged with certain things, I guess you are told to say as little as possible.
Yeah, shut up.
Not talk about what you did or did not do. And this guy is out there going on BBC talking about things, going to Tucker Carlson and denying his charges, lying about his charges and adding a lot of dumb stuff to it. I mean, who in the world are these guys lawyers. If there is one thing that I have learned from Andrew Tate, I must admit that there is at least one thing that I have learned from him. If I want to commit crimes, I should make sure to have proper lawyers who are not complete idiots and who won't let me do dumb stuff like this.
That's the thing I can't figure out in all this. Like, what does he think he's accomplishing? Because I don't know. It could be a couple different things, but when you're just flat out lying to your fans, you're lying about the charges, you're lying about the accusations, you're lying about the entire history, you're lying about everything you've ever said in the past. And it's just like in the moment right now, I'm trying to lie to this guy in order to deceive his fans. Those aren't the people who decide whether you're guilty or innocent. Like, what are you thinking? Are you thinking you're going to win so many followers that they'll actually storm the prison and break you out? Is that the plan? I can't figure it out. It's like yes, you can deceive a bunch of people. You can trick a bunch of people. There are still plenty of people that you can deceive. They're not the ones who decide whether you go to prison or not. And the people who do decide that, the judges and so on, you're convincing them that you're an even worse scumbag than what they're already familiar with. In other words, you're proving that you have not changed at all. You're still a liar. And so it's like you're hurting yourself with the charges here. And he's doing it anyway. So I'm like, I can't even figure out what he's thinking in this.
Well, I have a theory. So this is what I thought. What I thought is, this is very probably very basic. Not sure if there's any truth to it, but his lawyers probably told him, while telling the public, "Oh, no, it's innocent, nothing will be found." They probably told him in private, "Sorry, mate, there's no way you're getting away with this. You're going to go to prison for a while." And maybe he thought, "All right, then I have a plan. I'm going to appeal to the public and going to paint myself as this great hero and the victim of the Matrix, this great hero, the great threat to the system whom they want to attack and put away. I will put on this persona. I will deceive people. I will make them support me so much that when I am in prison, I will become an even greater hero. I will become even bigger, even better. And when I'm out, I will have a lot of people supporting me. And maybe in prison, I will have a lot of people supporting me." I mean, he's aware that he has kind of created a cult, right? And maybe he's he's feeding that and nurturing that right now with his lies because he knows he's going to go to prison.
I'm thinking, okay, if your lawyers told you, dude, you're going down for this, you're not getting up, you are guilty. They have irrefutable evidence that you are guilty. The best thing you could do would be, for the past several months, be completely repentant, be apologizing to everyone, use your powers of manipulation to manipulate the girls who are accusing you into thinking that you sincerely regret what you did. Make it look like you have changed and are not the total scumbag we've always known you to be. And therefore, when sentencing comes up, okay, well, that's some stuff he did in the past, but he's changed his mind. So that's the route that I would go. I'm like wondering if he's trying to convince the court of public opinion and ignoring how it's going to hurt him in court, if he's got some plan to like break him out and take him to the UAE or something like this. And then, all the people there think he's innocent. And so the court charges won't matter or something like that. I don't know what the extradition rules are, but there are places that would not extradite him and so on. So if he's planning to bust out of house arrest and go to one of these places and have people think it's just that he's running because it's the Matrix that's attacking him for his empowering message to young men, I don't know. So maybe, but other than that, I can't figure it out, because it's like, dude, your future rests in the hands of some judges, and you are insulting and mocking them with everything you're saying.
Hey, check out this idiot. Suleiman Ahmed, who is, we mentioned him earlier. He runs to Andrew Tate's defense whenever somebody criticizes him.
Hey, wait, go down to that picture.
Complete scumbag.
Hey, why'd the Muslim pick a picture with her cleavage out?
I don't know. This is...
Oh, look at that.
He should have blurred this. Why is this not blurred?
Didn't. And he could have put a picture where she didn't have her cleavage showing, but
not her hair showing, not anything showing.
Yeah. Could have put it in a burqa.
Yeah. Maybe he thinks if he puts a video where she is basically naked, which means you can slightly see her cleavage, that will be a humiliation for her, and that's what he was doing from his perspective. Yeah.
By the way, this guy is kind of Tate's bulldog. He does go around trying to intimidate and harass the women into keeping their mouths shut. Total
and
scumbag.
here, because she is one of the people who were like she's a conservative commentator, and very conservative, and she harshly criticized Andrew Tate for quite a while, and she was one of the first Liz Wheeler. There's Liz Wheeler. She was one of the first who retweeted that video that we just watched and basically spread it around what Andrew Tate actually did. And this guy immediately comes to the help and says Liz Wheeler and the radical feminism of the right. So he calls her a radical feminist. He also moved on to call Jordan Peterson a feminist, by the way.
Yeah. By the way, guys, you have to always look for the manipulation when you're dealing with manipulators, right? So it's you had Tucker interviewed Tate, and then you had some conservatives. Oh, we're pro Tate now. We think he's a good guy. And then you had people like Liz Wheeler expose him, say, no, why don't you guys dig just a little deeper? So this guy is trying to, he's looking, okay, some of the fans went this way, some of the fans went that way. Look what he's doing. Well, people on the right don't like radical feminism. And so, I'm going to call the people who are against Tate radical feminists. You're not on the side with the radical feminists, are you, conservatives? No, you don't want to be on the side with the radical feminists. Then you have to support Andrew Tate. Come join Andrew Tate and not the radical feminists on the right. It's like they don't even try, and it's because they know that I don't know, man. It's like they're looking for the stupid people to try and win them over, instead of like presenting any sort of serious case for anything. It's, I don't like this person right here, therefore let me give him, this label or something like that, and that's all I have to do because people are stupid.
Yeah, I changed my headline here, my title here to radical feminist, because as of today, everybody who opposes human trafficking, and
if you're against trafficking and rape, you're a radical feminist.
You're a radical feminist, basically. So that makes sense. That's of course self-explanatory, logical.
Only a radical feminist would think that rape and trafficking minors and forming a criminal organization would think that stuff's wrong. A bunch of radical feminists.
Radical feminists.
Isn't it funny though? Because like calling conservatives like the radical feminists and stuff. But notice it's like what are you excuse me, what are you objecting to that Liz Wheeler's she has a problem with Tate for the human trafficking and for duping all these and getting all these girls to do porn and stuff for him, and then you're a radical feminist. It's like you guys are barely trying anymore.
I'm pretty sure Liz Wheeler was one of the people who have been, quite critical of radical feminism and stuff like that. She has been on the front with lots of conservative talking points, and I have probably disagree with her most of the stuff that she says out here, but it wouldn't even cross my mind to come up with a dumb label for her like that. And this guy just calls her radical feminist simply for opposing human trafficking. But
there are five basic patterns of manipulation. Two of those are negative reinforcement and punishment, and this is a version of that, right? You try to do your part in making someone uncomfortable about what they're doing. So, you're going after Tate? Well, we know you don't like being called a radical feminist. So we're going to get thousands and thousands of people to call you radical feminist. And, the reason this is stupid and is not going to work is, okay, if you're a conservative, you've already been bombarded with insults for a long time by these. If you're like a conservative commentator, or if you're a liberal commentator, or whoever you are, you've been bombarded by the opposite side for a long time. So you probably have some thick skin when it comes to morons, just hurling pointless labels at you.
I just searched her profile for feminism, and she's like, don't let the lies of feminism fool you, to young women. Talks about this is what feminism and progressivism have done.
Oh, doesn't look like she likes feminism.
Feminism, libs. She's very critical of feminism.
This chick's blasting away at feminism.
I know.
She's like both barrels. And the first
feminism is garbage.
Oh, but even though I don't like feminism, I also don't like rape and human trafficking. And there you see, she's a radical feminist extremist trying to destroy men and the family. What an idiot.
Feminism has evolved so much that the original feminist would have been disinvited. Like, she's modern feminism, she's blasting it. Shocker. Modern feminism hurts women. Truly sad for this girl. She is blasting feminism, blasting modern feminism. And this guy's like, she's a radical feminist. That's why she doesn't like Andrew Tate.
What Tate fans are clowns, especially this is like the king of the Tate clowns, man.
Yeah.
Isn't it going to be? I mean, I'll say it again here. If Tate is falsely accused, because keep in mind, that's the situation. Every time Tate speaks, I spot lies, and it makes me think, okay, I cannot trust this guy. However, with that said, are there situations where women falsely accuse men of stuff? Yes, there are.
Sure.
Could a girl be mad that she got duped into sex cam work and then accuse him of rape or something? Yes, that could happen. So anything he's innocent of, I hope that he is exonerated of those things. But with that said, there's so much evidence here that he's guilty of quite a few things. So unless he gets broken out, or unless he gets a corrupt judge that he can bribe or something like that, he's going to get locked up for a long time. And let's say we're going to be revisiting this Suleiman Ahmed and all the Dawa guys and all their defenses of this guy for everything they've been doing for him, because what they've actually been doing is defending a guy who is trafficking women. That's what they've been doing. They're defending a trafficker and trying to help him get away with crimes. That's what they've been doing. And guys, we ain't gonna forget that. We're not gonna forget that.
Ain't gonna forget that one. Proud of that said, there are two sides of the story. Don't know who to trust. Trust Andrew Tate himself when he speaks about the things that he has done on his videos, and trust the truth. Trust the evidence.
Yeah. So it's Andrew Tate says he did it. Then a bunch of women say, yeah, he did it. Then he says, no, I didn't do that.
Man. Banana Pops the emoji said, I can't wait for the new Fast and Furious movie to be where David Wood and AP team up and take down Tate's sex trade with nothing more than a Corvette inhibition. The only new Fast and Furious movie I watched was the first one. Okay,
I saw the first one. I
watched the second one as well. Then I thought, okay, this is getting out of hand.
I saw a couple YouTube clips of some of the later ones. They look beyond ridiculous. Like laws of physics went out the window. And it reminds me of like the attention thing we're talking about. Like as soon as you go down the road and you want more and more attention, it seems like they went down there like, okay, we have to consistently one up the thing we did before, until the point where they're like jumping their car into space or whatever. And but it's like ridiculous. But yeah,
I'm too old to watch that stuff. Like it's like I don't watch Transformers, so why would I watch Fast and Furious?
But we could do one of those. AAP, let's go get this Tate guy to save all the girls.
Boy. Meta Galaxy Infinity said, David, was Tate not Christian while doing all of this? What Christian values he followed? Listen to Tate himself. He said that he was not.
He said he was he said he was an atheist for a while, and then he had some he says that he converted to Christianity for a while. You did not see his behavior change, just like you didn't see his real behavior change even when he became a Muslim. So guys, I don't take him seriously for any of that, right? I apply the same reasoning that I brought up earlier. If he was pretending to care about these guys when he was when he was actually just trying to get them to sell their houses and give them all the money. And he's pretending to care about the girls when he doesn't. He just wants to get the money out of them. And then he's pretending to help his followers become successful and so on. If all of this was pretending just to get what he wants, then when a guy who's constantly pretending to care about things just to profit himself says, oh, now I'm a Christian, now I'm a Muslim, like I have zero reason to believe it. Like, so guys, I don't even take him seriously on Islam. I don't take him seriously on Christianity unless I have a really good reason to think that he's serious. I would not believe him on anything. But and even to be fair, I can say the one thing in the universe he seems to care about is his brother. That's a good quality. He does seem to care about his brother. Other than that, I've never seen anything that this guy actually cares about that I could say he sincerely cares about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there was also a that in one video that people often quoted where he talked about Islam, he mentioned that that his love for Orthodox Christianity in Romania is primarily about being close to Romanian Orthodox leaders who have a lot of authority and respect in Romania, and that he likes having connections with them or something like that.
Yeah, and really that seems to be the real motive of the conversions. It's, oh, okay, now I'll be Orthodox because this will help me get in good with people in Romania and stuff like that, and I'll have supporters in Romania. And it looks like he just didn't get the kind of attention from Christians that he wanted. And so he would toss these things out that are positive about Islam even before he converted. And he realized they would like shower him with praise and attention. Oh, it's so great. Come to the Middle East. We'll treat you like a hero. We'll carry you around on our shoulders because you're so great. And he's like, oh, okay. In other words, guys, a manipulator, he's looking around for the best group to manipulate.
And remember, Tristan Tate said that you are offered, that they are offering, that he has been offered benefits in the Middle East for if he converted to Islam, but he didn't do it. So based on that, you could probably understand that Andrew Tate probably, because he went to Dubai before he converted to Islam, he probably got paid money there, and for his conversion to Islam, and also for talking about Islam and spreading Islam to others and stuff like that. And I would probably guess that Sneeko also got some.
Didn't someone say that in a thing you were just on Twitter? Black Angel sent me a link to some discussion on Twitter that you were just on, some Twitter room or something like that. But there was some guy on there. There was some guy on there saying that like he's from there or something like that, and he says, yeah, I don't know, something like they.
Yeah, I was in this Twitter space where I had a discussion with these guys. There was also I talked to this one journalist, sports guy. I forgot what his name is. I didn't even know him before. He's apparently quite famous. So I was in that space, and there was this one guy who did talk about that whole stuff, that there are people in Dubai who pay influencers and others to spread Islam and to convert to Islam. Not sure how credible that is, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We know that sort of thing happens because I've mentioned before, I know 2 Arabic Christian pastors who were offered piles of money to convert and say that it was because of all the amazing evidence for the Quran.
Yeah, that doesn't sound.
And they told me that totally independently. Totally separately.
That sounds about right. It sounds about right. Do you think Tate fans will exist if he is convicted on all the charges and is imprisoned? Well, I would say that he's shedding and losing a lot of fans. The more people see the facts, the more people see through his lies, and we are doing that work. But that said, I think all the way down, he will still have a lot of diehard fans who follow him like idiots and support him through it.
He shouldn't have kept blabbing about the charges and pretending that he's charged with things, pretending that this evidence isn't there. He should have, if he wanted to sell the myth that he's just, empowering young men, he should have just kept putting out stuff to, positive messages to young men and kept his mouth shut about the charges if he didn't want to be exposed. But it's going to depend on a couple things. I mean, if he gets locked up for 20 years, you know, you're not seeing that guy for a long time. So it's hard to, you know, be a super Tate fan when you're not going to see him for another 20 years, or I don't know what parole is like there or whatever. But if he gets 5 years or something like that, which he could, because a judge, you know, if he doesn't get, you know, hemmed up on the rape charge or something like this, or if some of these things get thrown out, then, you know, keep in mind, you know, even though it's human trafficking, I pointed out, it's not the worst kind. It's not like you're putting kids in cages and stuff. You're duping girls. It is still sex trafficking, but there are significantly worse forms of sex trafficking. So maybe he gets 5 years or 7 years. And here, you know, okay, I'm going to see him again in a few years, so he could keep his fan base going. So yeah, a lot of it's going to depend on how long he spends there, and it's going to depend on how much more evidence comes out. Like if more and more stuff keeps coming out, based on the trial, and if court reporters are in there and they're constantly reporting and all this extra stuff, and especially the child trafficking and stuff, I mean, trafficking of minors and stuff like that comes out, yeah, he'll still have some followers because there are just some sick people in this world. But yeah, he's gonna keep shedding more and more followers.
It's funny that he's this wannabe Jeffrey Epstein, who just can't be as good as Jeffrey Epstein, because that guy was actually rich before he started this whole stuff, and he had a lot of influence and made some connections and paid the right people and all of that. But unfortunately, Andrew Tate, he thought he could just be in the street and could be just like as Jeffrey Epstein, but hey, it doesn't work, man.
Tate's a wannabe Jeffrey Epstein. Yes,
yeah, wannabe Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah,
it's a wannabe Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, wannabe Jeffrey Epstein. Nick Highlander made a super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate it very, very much. One thing I wanted to point out, somebody earlier brought up, I wanted to mark that comment, but I forgot, that Michael Knowles did say one thing that pissed me off a little bit toward...
Oh, he's done. Said something that pissed off the man AP. It's over, Michael. Get ready. No. Get ready for the fire to rain down on you, son.
He said one thing at the end of his talk about Andrew Tate, which I still thought, why do you still say this? It doesn't work like that. And that was, he said, but of course, what we need to point out is, he said, if Andrew Tate is guilty of all of these things, he deserves to be locked up and put away for a long time. But then, of course, the question is, why are they not coming after all the others who are also guilty of these crimes? Why are they not coming for the CEOs of porn websites and of OnlyFans and this and that? And I'm just sitting there thinking, dude, can you not figure out why those are not the same things? Can you not figure out why that's not the same thing? You might think, for different reasons, for religious, ideological, personal reasons, you might think that OnlyFans and all of the porn websites, which I don't want to name, are completely disgusting and immoral, right? And granted, you might say that, but are they really similar to the human trafficking that Andrew Tate is being accused of, which he clearly committed and which he is being charged with now? No, they are completely different things. You could say, yes, this guy lured women in and he made them record videos and put pornographic stuff on the internet, but that there is a difference. He lures people in, tricks them, deceives them by his own admission, pretends to love them, makes them love him, just so that he can use them as workers, because he figured out that they will only work for him and only put their bodies out there if they are under the illusion that they are his lovers and that he will do everything for them and so on. That is different. That is him actively deceiving people and turning them into workers. That's why it is called human trafficking. It is obtaining or acquiring or recruiting people through deception. And then, by the way, when they are there, they are forced to work day and night, and they are beaten and intimidated and threatened and so on. And that is for sexual exploitation and financial exploitation. That's why it's a crime. On the other hand, somebody who runs a website where women can sign up by their own will and put stuff on the internet, not just women, by the way, everybody can sign up and put things on the internet to make money. There, they are not lured into this situation that they never signed up for. They don't sign up on this website thinking, "Oh, I am just here to live a wonderful new life and to get married and to have children and this and that." And then, oh, oops, I was tricked. I am now part of a website where I have to show my body and do pornographic acts. And if I don't do it correctly, then I will be punished. That's not how it works. You sign up, you publish stuff there. If you don't want it, you take it down. That's it. Not the same thing at all.
Yeah. Tate, to be clear, Tate is not charged for having a webcam business. He's not charged. If a woman comes to Tate and says, I want to be part of your webcam business, and I'm going to sit in the room, get naked and talk to God, not being charged with that. That's not illegal. You can say that's bad. That's not illegal. Taking a girl who doesn't want to do it and manipulating her over time and taking all her cards and so on, so that she can't even leave, or not allowing her to leave, getting her to cross national lines and so on, and duping her into doing this, and then keeping her in check with you've seen the charges with pretending that she has all these debts and so on, so that she can't leave without paying off her debts, but you make it so that she can't pay off her debts without doing the cam girl work and so on. That's illegal. That's trafficking. So yes, if some guy at OnlyFans is doing that, then yes, he should also be arrested for the same crimes. But Tate is the one who's done that here.
Yeah, some people are still saying, "Oh, well, poor businesses and CEOs are doing the same thing." Guys, most of the people nowadays online who do pornographic stuff do it by themselves, are not tricked into it. They actually sign up for it, and they can sign off and whatever it is. Of course, there are cases of human trafficking which we are not aware of behind the scenes, and if there are, they should be caught and punished for that, right? But a lot of it is voluntary. I know for a fact that a lot of porn actors and actresses right now in the business do this stuff not because they are lured into it or tricked into it. They do that because they choose to go there. Some might have gone through. Some might have ended up in that situation by thinking, "Oh, I just don't have any other choice" and all that. But it's not comparable. It's not comparable. This is like comparing what Andrew Tate did to, you working at a factory and and working day and night and or doing any other job. It's just not the same thing. That's not how it works. That is called human trafficking for a very, very specific reason. It is the method, the MO. Yeah. And some say, but they're not stupid. They knew what they were getting into. Dude, the guy himself is telling you.
They were trying to get married.
The guy himself is saying to you, those women, they thought we were going to get married. They thought we were going to be a couple. They had completely different dreams. Haha, idiots. They will now be my whores. That he is saying that to you. But you are here, oh, they didn't know. They knew what they were getting into. Why is it Andrew Tate's fault?
And notice, and by the way, that there's a reason these laws are on the books, right? The reason these laws are on the books about the lover boy method and so on of sex trafficking is because that's been one of the most common methods. In fact, I think it's the most common method that's been used by pimps in the past. Notice when a pimp finds a runaway girl at the train station, he doesn't grab her and toss her into a van. He says, "Hey, you just got here. You need a place to stay? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. You come stay at my place. No, don't worry about it. No, you don't have to give me anything. I'm just trying to help you out and stuff." And then that pimp gets the girl to fall in love with him. And then that pimp, he doesn't shove a needle in her arm. He gets her to drink, gets her to smoke weed, gets her to, and then keeps pushing it further and further and further. Notice he's not forcing her to do anything. He's not forcing her to do that, but he gets her addicted to drugs. And then, oh, now you have to do, and then he won't ease her in the door. He doesn't just toss her out on the street and start saying, "Make me all this money." He'll ease her into that. "Oh yeah, girl. Yeah, see, I'm 200 shy on the rent, but the landlord said that he'd let it slide if, so can you help me out? Can you please help me out here? Because I'm trying to take care of you. But it's so he'll get her to think that she's helping him by doing something. Notice at no point did he force her to do something. He uses manipulation to slowly get her to go further and further and further. And the end result is the girl standing on the street corner, selling herself and giving him the money. He took her step by step, and you've just got these morons. What did he do wrong? It's not like he made her do anything. He took a girl who would have never dreamed about being a prostitute and turned her into a prostitute using the powers of manipulation, which work really well. And you've got morons. Oh, but he didn't lock her in a cage and didn't lock her up, so he didn't do anything. She's the stupid one who fell for that stuff. And the people who say this are the stupid people who fall for complete nonsense all day long.
Yes, you just fell for it, and you are claiming that
you fell for it. You're falling for it, you giant moron.
All right, this is officially our last live stream about Andrew Tate.
No, it's not. There's no way. that dude is going to say something completely insane and idiotic.
Okay, for now, for this case, for the whole thing that is going on, I'm intending to make this the last live stream on Andrew Tate. The guy he's getting a lot of heat right now. It is being picked up by a lot of people that he was relying on, and he's going to get it badly. So I might make a different stream on a different day with somebody else who might want to say a lot of things about this stuff as well, to put down all of the evidence and all of the work. There are some people who have who did some really good work over the weeks. Wait a minute, are you kidding me? I just see a message saying "Murdered by Crayons" has been suspended by Twitter.
What?
That is the person who has been doing the major thing.
The same thing happened to Crabman, didn't it? Like Crabman was posting all this stuff about Tate.
Yes.
And then got banned.
Are you kidding me?
You should get oh my goodness.
Is this real? It's true. This account has been suspended. Why?
Hey, you should get Murdered by Crayons.
I was thinking of that guy. I was wanting to get him on here to talk.
Murdered by Crayons. Get on the live stream with AP and break everything down, because we want to know about this.
What? Wow. Okay. Several months ago, a guy who had a username Crab something was on top of the whole Andrew Tate stuff. He informed so many people. He made threads and threads listing evidence and all kinds of things about Andrew Tate. One day he just got suspended out of nowhere. Now we had another person whose name was Murdered by Crayons on Twitter, and he was doing that very same thing. He was posting pretty much everything there is on Andrew Tate, and people were getting a lot of information from him because he was linking everything. He was doing all of the work. Now he's suspended too.
That is very interesting.
Wow. I don't know what to say. Why?
No idea. Gonna have to do a little investigating on this one.
He was just suspended. Okay, well, wow.
Wild stuff.
Elon Musk, free speech. I don't know. I can't say anything right now. I don't know what's happening behind the.
Yeah. I just look. I retweeted something from Murdered by Crayons earlier today. Now it's tweet is from a suspended account.
Okay, so why are both of the accounts that have tweeted pretty much everything there is about Andrew Tate, why have both of them been suspended for no proper reason?
And it seems to be in response to them just saying, "Hey, I'm going to expose all this stuff that Tate fans are saying and show that they don't know what they're talking about."
Is this the Matrix here?
Yeah, because Crabman was the one who pointed out when Tate's fans, they photoshopped the text messages to make it look like the girls were conspiring and calling themselves great actresses and saying they deserve Oscars, but they rearranged it and cut and pasted to make it look like the girls were trying to set them up for something, trying to set up the Tate brothers for something, when in reality they were plotting on how to escape from them without getting beaten or killed. He's the one who said, no, look at the original, look at what the original says and stuff like that, and then gets banned. Wild stuff.
He was doing amazing work.
Yeah,
amazing
work.
Wow.
Where's
I
the
don't know.
real Matrix here?
I mean, is this like people jumping in for Andrew Tate and just silencing somebody since he has stupid fans or people in positions where they can do that? Because a lot of this stuff is his work, a lot of this, a lot of the people getting informed, being exposed to the truth on Andrew Tate, being confronted with the evidence. I mean, the video that we just watched that this Milk Bar TV guy put together, he took a lot of this information from that account. And
I guess Milk Bar will be next, right?
He was informing everybody. I'm sorry, I'm kind of looking.
You're dragging out a stream instead of shutting it down and then
it's commented
investigating.
in suspension of the most knowledgeable outspoken.
Let me investigate all of this while live, even if it takes 7 hours.
It's commented in the suspension of Kramer is the most knowledgeable and outspoken of all of us after Hey Hey Productions shared their tweet. Really? They retweeted him? Ethan Klein. He retweeted. Yes, this is true. His last retweet is Crane is murdered by Cranes. He retweeted him, and then he got suspended.
Yeah, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah. Milk Bar TV said that the two highest profile accounts that were reporting on Andrew Tate have both been suspended. And then Avalon replied, the very night. So Murder by Crayons was supposed to be posting something tonight that was supposed to be big news. And Avalon said the very night of the biggest breakthrough in the Andrew Tate case, and Cran gets nuked by Twitter. Yeah. Meanwhile, Andrew Tate doxes the victims. His lawyer, Joseph McBride, repeatedly doxes the victims, even their passport numbers, and nothing happens to them.
What is this profile picture? What this guy is such a Ethan Klein.
AP, you can't make fun of people for not being as masculine as us.
No, he likes making fun of himself, and I find that funny.
That's a good quality, actually. I don't like Ethan Klein. I think Ethan Klein's a dirtbag, but
yeah,
that's a good quality. Making fun of yourself.
I find it funny when people make fun of themselves. I do that too sometimes, and yeah, it's
not fun. As funny as self-snitching, but
yeah. But yeah, he retweeted this stuff, and now he's been. I don't know what's going on. I will have to see. I have to check that. I just found out through somebody telling me in the chat. So
how did we miss it? Yeah, get in touch with Murder by Crayons and ask what we can do to help with the situation.
Okay, yeah. All right. Thanks everybody for viewing the most watched show on the internet and the most popular live stream in the universe. And
till you get shut down too for opposing Top G.
Yeah. Although here on this channel, I teach you how to become a real man, how to be just as masculine as I am.
And just so you know, everyone, the only way to be really masculine is to believe everything we say and never to question anything we say, even if it's an obvious lie, and send us all your money. And if you're a girl, come get naked for us, and we'll put your pictures all over the internet to stupid guys, and give us all your money. That's how you can be a real. That's That's the only way to not be a radical feminist.
Yes.
So if you don't want to be a radical feminist, come do porn for us. And if you don't want to be a loser, then do whatever we say, guys.
Also, always keep an open mind. Question everything. Don't believe anything that they are telling you. Question everything. Think for yourself. But if you question me, if you ask questions about me, then I will block you and make sure that nobody listens to you.
And you're from the Matrix.
Yeah, you're an agent of the Matrix, clearly. Anthony LaFleur said, so it's going to be interesting to see how Muslims, especially the Dawa guys, try to defend Tate if he is found guilty. That was the worst pretend French
That's just
accent
sad,
that I've
AP.
heard in my entire life.
I'm starting to. Well, I don't know. If you're super masculine, are you really going to even be able to speak with a French accent? I don't think so.
Not possible. Not possible.
Maybe Russian or something. I don't know.
Russian is a very interesting, and it's also where my friend Vladimir he speaks that, and I know how to speak that.
German accents are pretty masculine too.
Yeah, German accent.
Yeah, especially when they talk like this. Yeah,
it is. This is the most masculine accent. Really, I'm telling you. And if you want to look like this here, just make a lot of muscle and get very masculine and speak German. Then you will be a real masculine man. Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, if you're wondering what color our Bugatti is, there you just saw it.
It's
like grayish,
black, red, gold, like the flag of Germany. Deutschland. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a fantastic day, radical feminists. And until tomorrow, where we will unite once more on David's channel to talk about religion from a radical feminist perspective. Listen to the message. Your ears will perceive now from a wonderful guy who has found the best answer to life.
Stay away from Islam.